Hello guys, welcome back, and we will continue by modeling those poof. I think that's the right word, poof, and it's very easy and very simple to do, but it's very difficult to make the UV. So I will start a new scene here, and I will shift click on this sphere, then press W and move it up. Then I'm going to a new mesh item and make one plane, and then I will come back to my sphere here and W for move, and I will turn on the background with vector on geometry constraint. You can see here because the video is cutting, but it's under geometry constraint, and you put it as vector, and I will turn on the snapping, and all I have to do is move the sphere down just like that. Okay, then I will press spacebar to drop the tool, and I will turn off the constraint mode and the snapping. Once I've done that, I will select all those polygons in the middle, and I will shift up arrow until I reach those polygons, and then I will press J to lock them, and I will hit T on my keyboard, and I will start using the element move to shape this little guy in here, just like we did with the okay. Just try to maintain the organic shape of it. Okay, it's not so complicated. Watch out not to move. Okay. Okay. Once you've done that to shape, you will press spacebar to drop the tool, and then press tab, and I'll select all those edges and press backspace. Oops, something went wrong here. I'll select all those edges and hit backspace, and for some reason I'll press okay, first let me press tab and then J or I on my keyboard to unlock those polygons. Then I will hit tab. It has nothing to do with this polygon going away, but I'll press backspace and it goes away with my polygon. So I'll select all those loops by double clicking this edge here, and I'll press P and Ctrl Z. My face is there. I'll try to press FF. Okay, Okay, I'm getting some problems here with shading, but I will not worry about that, and I will keep I will make some quads here. So I'm starting by connecting some edges, and the tool that I'm using here is edge slice, and the shortcut is C. So let me start here again. What you do with this tool is you press C, then you put it on edge and drag to the point that you want, and make the same here. Then click on this edge and drag to this point, and just Control Z. Okay, something is really strange here. So I'll press Shift to start a new point, and then drag to here. I'll make the same here. Shift, click, and drag, and Shift, click, and drag. Let me see. Okay, Shift. If you click somewhere not in the edge, you can drag to the vertice, but sometimes I don't like to do this because sometimes it does not snap to the vert. So I just press Ctrl Z and then start again. Shift click and then click here, Shift click and then click here, and one more time, Shift click and click here, Shift click, drag, click, drag, and one more time, Shift click, drag, Shift click, and then drag. I will Shift click here and click in all those edges. Then I will end right here. I can move those vertices to smooth this line here, and I will press spacebar to drop the tool and hit tab. Before I hit tab, I'm going to scope tools and grab the smooth, and it already selects the smooth. Soft brush, and I will just click, and it's going too much, and I will need to lower this offset amount here. I like to have a lot of control here. I will smooth some parts here. Let me get teeth and drag this vert down and that vert up. Spacebar to drop the tool and hit tab, and then I will just make some reshape here. Okay, that's the easy part. Now I'm going to give it a material M, and it will be poof 100% diffuse. Press OK. Now we are going to I'll delete this mesh here because I don't need it anymore. And now we are going to UV. No, not UV, we are not done here. I'm going to double click this edge, select that loop, and then we will press W for bevel and right click, and I'll bevel it and Ctrl Z here, spacebar drop the tool, and I will go to normal polygon mode and double click this edge and press B for bevel, right click and drag, and I'm using here the round level of 2, and I'm just eyeballing here, and I will press spacebar to drop the tool, double click this middle edge here and press backspace. Then I'm going to select those 2 polygons and press L for loop, and I will press B for bevel, right click, and I will shift just a little bit and then press shift and click anywhere and bevel it just one more time. And let me see, when I press tab I get this little thing. Okay, and now I'm going to press tab again, and I will select this edge and this edge and press up arrow until I get down here, and then I'm going to press B for bevel, and I'll bevel it with a round level of 2 again. Then I will press spacebar to drop the tool, then select, double click this middle edge here and press backspace, then select this loop here of polygons and do the same, press bevel, and I will right click, shift a little bit, just a little bit, shift click and insert a little bit more, and sometimes you are going to get some overlapping here, so I'm not going to bevel too much. I will drop the tool and press R for scale, and I will scale that. I'll change my action center to selection. Let me see here, and I'll use this little blue handle here to just a little bit, and that's okay, that's fine. I'll press spacebar to drop the tool, and I press tab. This is what I get. Okay, and now it's the hardest part, because we have those polygons, those strange polygons. It's very hard to make this UV. I think so. I don't know, you will think that too, but for me it's very hard. So I'll start by selecting those 2 polygons and then loop, and I will press shift up arrow 1 2 3, and let me see here, one more time, 4 times. And let me see down here, I will deselect those polygons with Ctrl. I'm deselecting, let me take a look. Okay, I think I've got everything I need. Or let me deselect. No, I'll let those polygons as well, and then I will press Shift H to hide what I don't have selected. Okay. Before I do this, I'm going to Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. I will change it to edge mode and press Tab, then go back to polygon and Shift H to hide everything. Now I'm going to UV tab here, and I will go to my UV and make a new map, and I will call it poof. And I'm going to double click this edge, and it would be great if peer worked so it will be easy, very easy to make this. Alright, and I'll press spacebar to drop my tool, and I will select this edge and this edge, and I will press up arrow until I hit down there, and I have just to deselect all those edges, and I will press to go there, and then I will do the same here. This line I can double click it, and I will align to the left, and I have just to keep going with that. Let me see here. I think we've got a problem here. Okay, let me see here. What is this edge? Okay, I need to select that with this edge here. No, this edge here. No, that's not it. Okay, I've selected this edge and this edge. Okay, and then the next one is this edge. Okay, I need to select those two edges and click there, and now it's okay. I think so. No, I think it didn't work because we have some polygons missing here. Let me see here. If I select, double click this edge, and then go to UV peer and click, I'm getting some strange results in here. And double click this edge, UV peer. No. Let me try this. I didn't try that before, so I'm going to UV project tool and go to Atlas and click. And let me see what I've got here. Okay, I think I don't like it. Ctrl Z. Okay, we will have to do this through the hardest way. So I'll select this edge in here, double click it, and then I'll go to Unwrap tool and click. Okay, that's not too bad. So I'll just rotate it to be more aligned, and then starts the annoying part. I just go to T element move here, and I'll just undo this overlapping in here. Okay, now I'm going to double click this edge and deselect all those edges. Okay, I won't double click it, and it will be very annoying to watch this, but when you try it, you're going to see that it's too hard to UV this little thing here. That's the only way I could do this. I know that must be an easier way, but I'm getting so much problem by trying all those easy ways. I've tried that before. That's the third time that I'm doing this little guy here, and always I'm getting those strange things happening. I'm going to select all those lines, and I will align them right here, and in this line here I can double click it. It's not the edge, so I can double click it and align there. Double click this guy, align, double click, align, double click, align, and I will have to keep going and doing that. Align, 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 and this last one here, let me try double clicking here. Alright, go to the perspective and click there. Now we have to do the same, so I'm going to double click this guy, and hopefully it's working, and I will go to up, Ctrl Z. Something is wrong here. I have to deselect this little guy and then go up. Now I can go in here and double click this guy and align to the up, 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 up. Okay. Ctrl Z. Up. I told you that wouldn't be easy, and you are going to see that after we do all this stuff, we are going to relax, and it will be kind of messy, but it will work. Very nice. With any map you are going to do, or paint, or anything like that, it will work nice. Oops. Ctrl Z. Something went wrong here. I'm going to loop this guy and then align up, And why I'm getting this? Okay, I need to deselect up here. And that's strange because when I deselect down there, it deselects here but worked. So double click this guy up, and now there are just a few edges here. I'm going to select it by hand and then align up. Okay, that's the first step. I'm going to my shaded tree here, and I'm going to model or render tab, and I'm going to images, UV, and I'll grab this guy and place it here. And you are going to see that I'll come back to my UV tab here, that I have some stretches and some things that are not going very well. What I did before was to try to move those polygons around to make it looks better, but I would try to relax, and it worked. Control Z. Before I relax, I'm going to press tab, and now I'm going to relax. And the reason that I've done this, it's because if you take a look in here, you're going to see that those polygons are actually, let me go to my vert mode and press tab and then go to polygon. You will see that they are very little polygons here. If you relax your mesh before you do the press tab, you are going to stretch this texture in here. So you need to press tab first and then relax your mesh. And we are done here with this part, and the other parts are very easy, and I'll show you that. I'm going back to my, I'm going to press U here, okay, then I'm going to double click those polygons and hide them, pressing H. Then let me just try here to unwrap and click, and we are done. I'm just going to press tab, and then I'm going to relax, and press tab U to unhide everything. It's good, man. It's good. Then I'm going to pack UVs and press OK, and there you have it. This is the best UV I could make with this little guy in here. So after we do this, I'm going to delete this image, and now we're going to the best part of all. We're going to build our leather texture. So I'm going to use a lot of procedurals textures. So I'm going to add those textures here. I don't know how to pronounce that, and I go to organic or skin better, skin, and go leather. Okay, now I'm going to the texture locator, and I will make this just the same, and I will type here 30 millimeters. Okay, and then I'm going to my texture layer. Let me see here what I can do. Let me take a look in here. Okay, I would like to have very thin lines, so I'm going to 4% here, and there you have it, very thin lines. But I will invert that because I'd like those lines to be black. That's the first layer. Next, I'm going to add a new leather texture, and that texture will be, let me see here, 45.6 millimeters. I need to change that from meters to millimeters. Okay, and then I'm going to the texture layers here, and I will set it to 4 as well, and that's bigger than what I had. And then I'm going to go back here. I'm going to add a noise texture, and will be multifractal. And I'll change the let me see here, my gain to 100. Okay, and then I'm going to make this multifractal a layer mask to my top ladder, so they are going to blend. And then I'm going to add a new skin leather texture, and this one I would like to have it very little, so I'm going to choose something about, let me see here, 5.8 millimeters, and I'm going to set it to multiply. Okay, and we need it to be 50% opacity, and the last one I will add another leather, and it needs to be very little as well, and I'll make the same size, 5.8 millimeters. I need all those to be the same size, but this time I'm going to make it a screen. Let me see here. Screen. And I'll make it 50% as well. Okay. Now I think that this little thing here looks very strange, but I'm going to select everything and transform it to bump. And that's my leather texture. And I'll go to my material here, and I need to tone down those bumps, and I'll try 1 millimeter. Let me see here. It looks fine. Let me try here something. I'm going to environment here, studio, and I will add a studio environment, and I'm going to enable my global illumination. And go to my material here, and I'll change the color to something dark, and I think that the bump is a little too high, so I'm going to my bump here, properties, and change it to 0.7. I think it's better, and I'll try that later. I will change it if needed, and I'm going to roughness and set it to 60, and specular amount to 10. And then I'm going to add a reflection here, 5, 8, and I will make it blurry. Alright, now I'm going to add a image map. Let me see here. I'll take this and this little guy in here, and I need to color correct that to gamma correct, divide by 2.2, and it's too big for my UV map here, so I'm going to texture locator and unwrap, and I'll change it to 3. And I think that's better. I will add a image map, and I will use clipboard here, and I'll get the coral bump, and I'm going to increase the tiling here as we did with the diffuse color, and I'll set that to bump, but it is overwriting everything we've done here, so I will decrease the opacity to 10. Okay, and to finish off I'm going to add one more leather, and I'd like to have very thin lines, and I will go to my leather and let me see here the texture locator. I'll set it to 100 millimeters. Let me see what I can do here. I'm going to change the where am I here? Ctrl Z, ask. Okay, the leather. Okay, I'm going to this grain start here, and I will set it to 53.5%, and again I'll stay with that, and this value here I'm going to lower that let me see here. Okay, and let's see what else I can do here. Let me try to lower that to 4. That's a lot better. But I would like to have more. I would like this guys needs to be thinner, so let me increase this a little bit more so they are very thin, and I'm going to my size here and I will lower that. Okay, let me see here, leather levels. Okay, they are not doing too much things. Let me see here. Okay, I'm going to texture here. And I will load that to have even more. I'll do that more. I need to have a lot of those white lines. Go back to texture layer here. I'm going to decrease that and decrease the gain. Okay, now it's better. I'm getting more white lines. And I really need that to be. I'm going to let me see here. Furry. Now I think that's okay. I'm going to the texture layer, and on the background alpha I'm going to set it to 0, so I will have those white lines. And now I think they are too thin, so I'm going to, oh my god, lower that. And probably when you will make that, you have to set different values to reach the same result that I'm getting here. And to finish off, I don't know, I don't want those lines to be so long and continuous, and to break that I'm going to add a mood fractal again, and I will set it to 9.8. Okay, 9.9, and let me see here. Okay, they're fine. I'm just going to change here the position to not match the other one that I've used, and I'm going to set it to layer mask, and that's what I was looking for. And I'll set this layer here to soft light, as you can see here. It adds some scratches, it gets old, just like old leather, as you can see here. Very nice. I'm very proud of this texture. Do you like it? Okay, after doing this, I'm going to my model here and rename it to poof, and I will go to my items here and I will put it on my scene. And then top view, I'll place it perspective right there, and I will make a copy. Before I do this, I'm going to close the poof scene, and I'm going to item mode, duplicate this spoof, and I'll move it to there, rotate it, and I'll go to polygons here, and I'll change it a little bit. The shape, just to be different from the other guy. Okay, spacebar to drop the tool. I'm going to my camera view here. Actually, I'm going to split that and put the camera in here so I can move those little guys around. And I think I'm going to change the properties here, so I'm going to unlock and go to my shader, or go to properties here, and I think I will increase the angle of view, and then I'm going to my shader and adjust the perspective or the frame here, resolution, okay, that's better. Let me see here, my camera, what height, I'll set it to 45, and I'll take off the X rotation. Okay. Now I can see those little guys. And I can move them back. Okay. Now we are going to model. I will save that and start a new scene. Let me delete this little guy here. I'll start by making one cylinder. Let me see here. Position 0 out everything and make the same size. Sides needs to have some sides. I think 16 is very good. No, I think we need more. Let's go to 20 and I'll move it up. I'm eyeballing here something just like this. Spacebar to drop the tool. And now I'm going to polygon mode and select that huge polygon, and I'll press P for bevel, and I'll bevel it once, and then shift click, bevel it, again, shift click, bevel it a little bit more, shift click, bevel it down, shift click, insert, shift click, bevel it out and increase the size, shift click, rise it and bevel it, shift click, bevel in, and I think we're done here. Just press tab and I'll select that loop and move it down, then select this top little guy here and I'll move those down, R for scale. Okay, I'm gonna need to select this little edge here and I'll bevel it with a round level of 1, then select this little guy, move it up, and that's what I'm getting. Select this, bevel in, bevel in. I'm doing shift clicks here and I'll Alt C here, and they're with symmetry, and I will select that guy and I'll bevel it, and I will select this edge, R for scale, and I'll scale that in. No, not good. Actually, I'm going to select this loop of polygons and I'll bevel it, and I will inset a little bit, shift click, inset, shift a little bit, shift click and shift more, and I'll press spacebar to drop the tool, and I'll press tab and that's what we've got. Let me take a look in here. I think I'm going to select that guy and press R for scale, and I scale that out and move it up. Press tab here to see what I've done. Select this guy, press R, and I'll scale that. Press tab. And now we are done. And how we are going to, actually, when I did that, I did the same thing in here, creating that seam, that seam that goes around here, but I'm not going to do that. Pretend they are back there. Okay, so it will be very easy to unwrap this little thing here. Let's go to our UV tab and I'll make a new texture map, and I'll call that banco, I don't know, and it will be very easy. I'll select this loop, press shift up arrow, let me see how many times, one more time and one more time. Okay, and then I will deselect all those guys and all those guys as well. Let me see, and all those guys too. then I'm going to vert mode here and press tab, then go back to polygon mode and shift H to hide everything. Then it's very easy. Let me try by selecting this edge and then go to UV Pearl and click it. It's fine, no problem with that. Then I'm going to unhide everything, click that and hide, and I will double click this edge here, actually I'm going to select that polygon and move this up and shift up arrow to select all those polygons, and I will hide it. Let me go back to Swan and I will hide it, and then I'm going to unwrap tool and click, and I will unhide everything. Press tab and then go to back UVs. Let's test that. I'll give it a material and will be banco. Go to my images here and I'll load that UV image. And that's a little bit strange. Select these guys and I will crank that up, and I don't care if I can't read that. You should read correct, but I don't really care. And after doing that, I'm going to UV relax and I will relax everything. Then select this little guy, rotate it. I'm going to back UVs again. Okay. Once I've done that, I'm going to delete. And let me go here to my render tab and I'll go to environment, studio, and I'll click that. And watch out what I'm going to do here. First thing first, I'm going to select this top polygon here. And I'll shift up arrow and I'll give it a material. It will be plastic. Okay. And I'm going to materials here, and I've saved as a preset that leather material, and I will use it. Organic leather, and I have to let me delete this guy here. Banco, I'll click on Banco and double click that leather, and I need to put this bump up here, and this little guy here, I just hate when that happens. Let me see here. Screen, multiply, they are okay, but I need to check UV map, and they are using none, and I need to set to Banco. A lot better, but watch out, I'm not going to render tab, global illumination, enable. I'm not going to use this diffuse color here, so what I'm going to do is delete it, and I'll set the diffuse color to a, let me see here, that's fine. Will be black or gray. You have reflections. You have blur reflections. I think that's cute. If I after change my mind about the color or anything, I will change it later, and I will rename this little guy here to Banco and put it on my scene. And that's too big. I'm going to select this item, and I'll lower the size, move it, and now I think it's too little. R for scale, and I scale that up, and then I will duplicate it, move it, and rotate it. And this little guy here is too big. I'm going to R and scale that down. Okay. Now I think we are good to go. Just go to polygons here and select everything and move it up just a little bit. Now let me take a look to my camera, and I'll lock that before I do something I don't want to do. Let me select those two items and move them a little bit to the right. This little guy here to there. And let me see my preview render, and I have to save it. File, save. Okay, one thing, those little guys needs to be bigger, so I'm going to select one, and I need to change to perspective, R for scale, and I Oops, I'm moving it. Okay, R for scale, and I scale that up. Select that guy and scale that up as well. Go to my render. Okay guys, this video needs to be a little bit longer than the normal. I just like all those textures. And I'll move those to the texture folder. Let me see here. Just organize that. Okay. Now I'm going to start a new mesh. Go to my top view and I'll make a cube in here. Perspective. Now give it thickness. Go to polygon mode, select this polygon and delete it, then press D twice. And let me see here. Okay, I think twice is good. One more time, D, R for scale, and I scale that up, move it to the right. Right view, and I need to make it sit on the ground. Perspective. Then I'm going to move those little guys a little bit up. Okay, it's not it's not a problem if they overlap each other. Okay. And now I'm going to select this guy and apply to it a material called 4. It's the only 4 in our scene, so press OK. Now go to my render view here and I will turn off everything. Press H to hide. Okay. Go to my second camera. I will add a noise multifractal, and I will change some things here. Let me go to gain and set it to 985. I think I need more, and I will change from solid to UV map, and I'll change to texture. Go to my UV here, let me see what I've got, and I will make a new UV map here. Just click on this item, go to unwrap tool and click it. Now it should work. Okay, it's working. let me see here. I'm going to texture layers. Go to my texture layer. That's not texture layer one. I'm gonna look for texture locator, and I will increase that to 3 and 3. Okay. Actually, even more. 5, 5. And that's strange. It's repeating. Strange. But we need to do this, okay? And I'm gonna tell you why. When we apply the fur, and the special fur material, if you don't do this, if you don't put this noise map as a diffuse, as a UV map, if you have some fur that goes from the black to the white, he's going to be two colors. Okay, it's just like you have projected your texture upside down. And if you have, I'm going to explain that on Photoshop. As you can see here in Modo, what the fur that is white until all the time, and what is black, even if they collapse or go into the white ones. Okay, because it's correct like this. If you don't do this, when you have a if you have something like that, let me choose here a red color, just like this, and some black, no problem. Okay, some black. And if you are using any other type of mapping, and that's include, let me go here, oh my god, and that's include any other kind, planar, solid, spherical, cubic, the fur will see the colors as projected colors. So if you have one fur that comes from the, let's make here a color different. If you have a fur that comes from this part to this part, it won't have red until the end. When they cross that line, it will be just like this thing here. It will be red, and you can imagine that. Okay, it will be red coming, and when it comes into here, it will be black. And that's very strange thing. So what you can do is to have this kind of thing, going to UV map, or you can bake a texture. So put it as planar, and let me turn off for a moment this fur, so you don't have those repeating things. Let me go to 999 here. So you don't have those repeating things. You can make it very little and it won't have those repeating things. And then you go to add layer, image map, new image, and I'll save that right here. It can be anything. I think I'm going to PNG, and I'll save that as rug texture. Okay, and I'll make it 2K, and I don't need to be RGB, so I'm going to gray and press OK. And I'm going to right click and bake to texture. First of all, let me check if my UV here is okay, and turn off the anti-aliasing. Then I will bake it to texture. As you can see here, it's baking. Okay, now I have this texture. I can go to File, Save All Images, or I can go to my paint view here, go to Images. That's my image. I can right click and save as, or save, or anything. Or I can even go here, right click, and I don't know. Okay, that's fine. I think it's already saved. So now I don't need that mood fractal, so I can delete it, because I already have this rug diffuse color. That's something strange in here. Okay, it's black. I don't know what happened. I'm going Ctrl Z, 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 Ctrl Z. Oh my god. Okay, it's back. Then I will bake it. It's rendering. Okay, I think that's finished. Okay, file, save, and I would try to close the scene, and okay, let me open that again. And that's a very strange thing. I'll try to bake to texture again. Okay, done. Expanding borders. Maybe I closed that too earlier. Okay, now it's done. And now I can save image. Oh my god, now we are done. Now I can delete this little guy here and everything is okay. Okay, so let's finish that. I'm going to turn on my 4 going to properties here, and I think I'm going to do something here. I think the spacing is what is fine. I'm just going to increase the length. It's 50. I'm going to, let me see here, 60. And I think I'm going to make some curls. Not curls, I mean clumps. And I'll go to 10%. Let me see here. I think I'm going to make that bigger, so I'm going to 80. And that's very nice fur. Alright, baby. I'm going to my model here, item mode, and I will turn on everything. Oh, this little guy here, and turn that on, and I'll make a render and start. And on the next video, I'm going to set up my final render, and we are going to post production on Photoshop, and we are done. Okay, that's the render. I'm going to do some changes in here. I think I'm going to put the same material, same leather material, so I'm going to go to my render tab in here, go to camera, let me click in this material first, and then duplicate that guy, and then go to this material, and then move this one to there, and I need to change one little thing. Change to banco, and the tiling 3. Okay, it's fine. And let me see here how much. No, that's not the way that I want to select. Let me see here how much bump. I'm going to lower that to just let me see here, 5 0 UM, and I think that's that. This leather is great, but I don't think that colors really matches. I really like the other that I've done that is white, so you can change it. I want, okay, so you can change it, and I think that my concrete here can be a little bit darker, so I'm going to, okay, no, I don't like it. No problem to be a a little bit light. And I've told you the last time we met in the previous video that I'm going to change something here. I don't like that shadow. Open, let's start render. I don't like these shadows here. So what we can do, we can go to the photometric light. This one is an instance, so I have to change just one, and then I'm going to shadow type and set it to none. And another thing, I need to, where is, okay, here is my photometric light. Here I need to lower that light that was too strong. Okay, so the shadows has gone. I'm going to the shader tree and go to the glass material, and I'll make it transparent, 100% transparent again. And let me see here, maybe this wall here, I'll go to reflection amount and I will crank up a little bit here. One 100 to 130. And one last thing, if you look here, my glass is giving some strange reflections. That's because I have a very thick glass. So to solve this problem, I'm going to select my window and select those two glasses and press R for scale, and I'll scale that down to make it thinner. It will be 47% or even more. Okay, 28%. Then I select this guy and R for scale and go about 20, 28, 29%. Okay, so we are done making those little, let me see here. Actually, I forgot to do this guy here, and I'll have to do this. This is important. This is not important because you can do that by yourselves. It's very easy. I know that you guys can do this. Okay, that's nothing to worry about. And but these guys here, we need to do them. So we'll do them on the next video because they are important. Okay, and and just, yes, I like Xbox. Those in white or kind white color, they match better with this scene, but as I said, I'm going to stay with those guys. And so then I'm going to make those vases and we are done. As you can see here, it's fine. Then I probably will change, and the glass now it's correct. I will change this color here. I don't like it. And that's it, guys. I hope you like it. Let me select those polygons in alpha scale, actual center, pivot. I thought they were too high. Okay, guys, see you next on the next video. Oh, to change these is so quick that I'm going to do right now. Go to fabric and go to cloth, select this guy and apply that. Look how that's better. And that's it, we are done for now, and I'm going to save that, and we see you in the next video.